I invite Riddhi to honor the chief guest with the flowers. I request Samyukta to honor our chief guest with the memento. Now our auntie will honor the chief guest with the gift.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
We have some amazing parents, some lovely children, but amidst that, we also have probably the last few legends of education in India. I really consider Mrs. Pillai as one of the strong pillars of education in India. Over 55 years, she's seen changes. And what strikes me is that even today, she has that enthusiasm that is contagious. We only wish and dream that at your age, we can be half of what you are right now, ma'am. Thank you very much. Mr. and Mrs. Pillai, we've known you for long. I think having one of the key people motivating you to open this school, I think we will have a separate conversation whether is that a good idea or not. The head of school, the teachers, it's amazing to be here. I thought I would share with you a few things. One is to kind of, I think Mrs. Pillai was responding to my question to say what has changed. She didn't say it was attitude. Maybe let me also share with you my own perspective on that. Say your child is having or is doing her homework. You are inviting your child to have dinner. Another day, your child is playing a game, say it's a video game, and you are inviting her to join you for dinner. What do you think will happen in the first time when the child is studying, you are inviting the child for dinner, what would happen? How long will it take for the child to join you for dinner when they are doing their homework or when they are studying? Immediate? Say, they are playing a game, what's happening there? Do you think they will come immediately? How many reminders do you think you will have to give them to drag them to the dinner table? Is it happening? Is it common? So the scientific explanation is that I think when the child is playing a game, I think the brain kind of gives away this dopamine, that is a feeling of high, and they really engage. When they're playing a game, I'm not complaining about schools, but what I'm saying is that schools have got a lot to learn from games, okay? So when a child is playing a game, it is entertaining, it is engaging, it is social, they're competing with one another, they're driven by success. All of it is what you want your child to do in their lives, isn't it? You want them to be focused, you want them to be engaged, you want them to succeed. But if they're doing it on a video game, none of the parents like it. But you all want them to do it on their studies, right? But what's happening here is that, unfortunately, the way we normally transact learning inside a class, I'm not comparing what SD Global is doing for the moment, my first time here. What I'm trying to give a general explanation is that learning used to be fun, but nowadays for children, they kind of learn the fun. I think even when you read book, actually the science says that dopamine gets released, okay? But the high that they get while playing a game is completely different to the way they're doing their homework or the assignment or reading or whatever it is. So what we need to do is, it's a challenge for all the teachers and the teaching community, is that we should make learning entertaining, engaging. We should make the children really love doing what they're doing inside the class. So some of the images that they showed, I was very happy that I could see children. None of the pictures showed children studying a book, sitting inside a classroom. Did anyone see that? I was very happy about it, because this is what we need to break away from. Children need to be in their natural environment to kind of develop. So this leads me to a question. I think most of your parents, I'm not addressing the children right now, I think I'm addressing parents. Every parent wants their child to go to a great school. Yes or no? Yes? So when you all took this decision, I I think again, I would be generalizing, but we can make it interactive. So, what made you choose maybe a great school? What makes a school great? Leave out your current school or whatever it is. What makes a school great? Infrastructure? Yes? What makes a school great? The teachers? What makes a school great? If you have really bright children, say, if you have students like the IITs or the IIMs, you take all the children are bright. In fact, even if the teachers are not doing anything, the kids will do really well. So if a school has got amazing children, obviously it's on the path for greatness. Okay, is there anything that you're missing? Infrastructure, we're talking about great teachers, we're talking about great students. What are we missing here? We're missing two key things. Sorry? Activities? Is that what you said? Brilliant. I think big round of applause to Matt. I think it's the way learning is done. It's not enough to have good teachers and good students. What they do in the classroom, what the kind of activities, the way, the methodologies that they use and how they transmit learning, that's very important. So we have four things right now. Say imagine a school has got good infrastructure, great students, great teachers and a great learning practice. Do you think that school will be great? What are we missing?
Track record.
Track record. I think you're close to where I'm coming to, is that the school needs a vision and the leadership to put all these things together, because building infrastructure, everyone can build that. How to utilize that infrastructure is not everyone's cup of tea. That's where I think when I come to the school, when I meet Mrs. Pillai, I think I kind of feel that there is a rich experience of over 55 years, and she is probably the first person to kind of say that, can we do something different? Because she's, after 55 years, she's still not happy with what she has done. She wants to still improve on what she has done. I've seen many people who are confident. They would say that, oh, my school is the best. We do everything really well. But here's someone, when we met, the first thing she was kind of talking to me was, what can we do better? That's the thing that's missing. So the leadership skill that is required to put all of these things together is what really makes a school great. And when I compare, I think this word like good and great is all loosely thrown about. Okay? All of you know University of Cambridge, yes? Do you know how many years it took University of Cambridge to reach the stage where we are today? Can anyone guess how old we are? Any guesses? Any answers? 150 years? No? 300 someone said? No? What's the answer, sir? Yes, the gentleman there, yes. 250 years? No? I'll let you go to the kids. Any? 75? No?
No. You might get.
I'm going to test your math now. Are you all ready? Can you believe that we are 812 years old? Okay? 812. And this was, I think, we are generally rated amongst the top 5 universities in the world. Everyone knows about it, but you generally know, okay, Cambridge is an old university. But people don't realize that staying on top is a lot more difficult. Being great, I think you can be good once. You can really play, like in sports, you can play one big tournament, you win, you will like your flash in a pan. You're like, you've done that once. But to do that year on year after that, that is again an attribute for a school that will succeed in the future. So it's not enough. A school like SV Global, I think I liked it when they said they're just toddlers. They're not saying that in 3 years they've achieved the sun and the moon and the stars. I think they've really said that they are on the pathway to achieve something substantial. That's what I really like about this. So coming back to this is that the challenge for a school is to do this day after day, year after year, doing it consistently so that a child who comes in grade 1, when they leave the school at grade 12, there is another child who comes in at grade 1, it should be relevant to that child as well. So running a school is extremely challenging. And the last part, I'm not here to message parents and all of that. I think ma'am's done that. I think she's got a lot more experience. But I can share from my experience what is happening in schools, or what's happening is that the children, the way they learn, okay, everyone, all of us tend to compare When I was a child, I used to do like this. When there is an exam, I sit and prepare. When the grandparents see the children playing around during an exam time, I'm sure all the parents get quite frazzled. Yes? But what's happening is that when we were young, we did not have these kind of stimuli. I'm not using the word distraction. Mobile, TV, screen. There are so many screens right now in one house. I'm sure there are about 10 screens. Multiple mobile phones, laptops, iPads, TV screens. There are so many stimuli that the child is receiving. When we were young, probably there was one screen if you're lucky. So we were able to, I think the only, maybe the word stimuli or a distraction used to be the games or the sports that we used to play. Today it's all changed. The children today, the way they explore things is completely different. If you did not know when we were young, if we did not know, what do? We go and ask a teacher or we ask our friends. Okay? Even today, it's very similar. I don't think there is any child, if they do not know anything, they won't ask a teacher. They may ask their friends or they may ask Google Auntie. What is the answer for it? So they know that Google Auntie has got everything that they need. They may not even ask the parents. I think maybe when there's some kids who used to ask them, why is this, what is that? But nowadays, I think even parents rely on Google Auntie to answer because many of us don't know the answer as well for the questions they ask. So you may think that this is a distraction if the children are not learning positively from it. I'll just give you an example of a school project that I have seen, not from this school. The kids were given a project. 5 kids were to do a project. Normally, if we were given a project in our school, what do? We get all the children cooped up in one room. They all sit in one room to do it. I was surprised to see that these 5 kids were at their homes. They were all connected. These were primary school children, by the way. They connected on Google Hangouts. All these 5, they're on screen. They're actually making a PowerPoint presentation in front. Everyone is sharing that on the Hangout. And one kid had to go. That child could not participate. And what was happening is that these 4 children were actually saying that, don't worry, you go, we will make even your slide and we will all present it together. Okay? What was a learning for me was that the way kids learn today is not the way we learned it. I think as parents, that's the first acceptance we need to have. I think if we keep saying that we did it this way, we want it this way, I think your children are learning socially a lot more. The kind of skills that they have, the intuitive IT skills that they have is unimaginable. So what we need to do is either you guide them the right way or you kind of, I think the easier option is, I think you prevent them from having devices. Actually, for parents from this school, I think that will be a challenge. You cannot, I think they will find ways. I think it creates a lot of issues for children who want those devices. So, can they create a video game? Okay, while you see a child playing a lot of video games, I think as parents, can we get them to actually create it? It's quite easy. Actually, there are sites. I think I'll probably send a link to the leadership here so that they can share with you. There are so many sites where children can code themselves, build their own video games. It's so easy. So instead of just playing a game, can they all create their own game? So as kids, do they love it? I'm sure they will. So that's the way learning is taking shape right now. And the last message, I'm sorry, I've taken a bit more time than I wanted to share with you all, is that I think as parents, we always tend to compare as well. Okay? We tend to compare our children's performance with another child's performance, our school's performance with another school's performance. I could see that I think the school's also making the same mistake. They also want to compare themselves to others. Somewhere, I think we all need to realize that each child, God has blessed them with a separate intelligence. Some of them could be musically intelligent, some of them could be kinesthetically intelligent, some of them could be, they should have numeracy in terms of their skills, some of them would be brilliant in IT skills, some of them can be great communicators, some of them are good at drama, theatre, art. The performances today, I was told that there are some dance performances later. The school is going to mount a play as well. So there are so many intelligences. Don't try to bracket your child into what they score in their school. I think we are all being very unfair to our children because they're gifted. The challenge for us is to find that gift. Okay? So maybe we should be, I think my only request is to Mrs. Pillai and the leadership is that actually parents need schooling a lot more to kind of say how do we manage our children, how do we discover that gift in our children, and there is a big thing. I see a very good mix of grandparents and parents. Actually, the grandparents are pretty cool. Okay, they are the ones who are happily managing. They don't get stressed with the kids. It's the parents who feel the brunt of all of it. Am I right? Do you feel that the grandparents get it easy and the parents have to bear all the brunt? It is just that I think the grandparents have that experience. They've gone through the same phase that you all have. I'm a parent myself. I struggle with my son as well. But these are all the learnings that we need to share. My only request is, I think a school like yours should also probably help in doing certain parent education, because a lot of learning for a child, the language that the child uses, okay, either it's from the friends or it's the language used at home. Okay, if sometimes we feel that the child is speaking really well, amazing vocabulary, either the child has got amazing friends or the parents are using amazing vocabulary at home. The contra to that is, if there is a child who is using not so good language, that is not permissible. Either it's their friends who are using that language or what they're hearing at home. So we all have a great responsibility. It's our children. I think whatever we speak is what is being imbibed in them. So my last request is, I think meetings like this help parents to explore their own difficulties in terms of being a parent. The school will take care of your children. Don't worry about it. I think it's a fairly relatively a small school in terms of the student-teacher ratio. They're really motivated. I think that's the key thing. I think credit to the management to kind of say that how many schools will have the heart to run a class for just one student? Okay, it requires a big heart. And it requires complete commitment to the vision of the school, because they're not looking at the school as a return on investment, as a project for 5 years. This is a project for the next 25 years. I think your children, when they really succeed in life, I think that's what will give a lot of happiness to the leadership and the teachers and the head of schools here. So thank you very much for this opportunity. Amazing to be amongst the children and the parents. Let's not forget, today we are celebrating the children. We are not celebrating the school or the teachers or the parents. We are celebrating children. So I'm looking forward to their performance and probably giving away some awards as well. Wonderful to be amongst all of you. Thank you.
Tarika Prigadesh to receive the award for her outstanding performance in mathematics. She scored full 6 points in her examination. Now I invite toppers for science who scored full 6 marks in their exams. I call Aditya Pillai and Tarika Prigadesh to receive their awards from our chief guest. Moving on to English, I call Delvina B. Singh and Tarika Prigadesh for their outstanding performance in English. They scored 6 on 6 in their examinations.
Thank you.
Now I invite all 3 of them to receive the Academic Excellence Trophy from our chief guest, Mr.T.K.Arunachalam.
Stand together. Ready? Sit together. Come closer. Devlina, turn your certificate.
Yeah.